Hi, I'm Callie, and I'm going to tell you a story that might seem a little unusual. I'm really pretty. Like, beautiful.
No moi, it's Joinen, and welcome to My Story Animated, the part of YouTube where true stories are animated. I say true, but I have my suspicions, to put it lightly. Have a look at some of these titles. I wish we never found my kidnapped sister. My sister is dating the entire town. My dad left me in the river. I came back after 15 years. Why did you do it? But what's grabbing my attention is my kidnapper is now my boyfriend. I'm in love with my kidnapper, and that's what we're gonna look at. But might I add, before we begin, the description of this channel says, My Story Animated is a digital platform that provides teenagers and adults the most interesting and life-changing stories with the world.
I was going to school when suddenly I felt someone pushing me to the ground. Ouch! I felt someone handcuff me. At first, I got excited and thought it was my crush from school acting all playful with me.
Okay. I mean, that's pretty playful.
I've been sending him signals the past few weeks.
No, sure, you can be sending as many signals as you want, but surely people aren't being like, hey, listen, this girl, she's been sending me signals. I can tell. She's given me a couple of winks. So here's the plan. I'm gonna approach her from behind, push her over, and handcuff her.
I heard a car coming and someone screaming, "Get the door open, hurry." As soon as I realized that someone was attacking me, I started screaming for help. I struggled to free myself, but my kidnapper was so strong. Then he dragged me into a minivan and closed the door behind. I was claustrophobic, so it was not long until I passed out.
Whoa, okay, this story's going super fast. You've been handcuffed, put into a van, you passed out because you're claustrophobic.
Who the hell brought me here? I headed to the door and started knocking it hard. I screamed at the top of my lungs, "Hey you, we're coming in a second." I stopped yelling. "She's not the one, you idiot. I told you she's blonde. This one has brown hair." The door opened and a young man walked in. He was handsome.
Yep, well, I mean, look at that face. As handsome as could be.
So hot. I'm talking Noah Centineo hot.
Wait, I don't know who that is. I suppose he's all right.
Listen, sorry. This was a game. We're aiming to fake kidnap another girl. You know, for fun. But my friend picked you by mistake.
Nothing says lighthearted, fun weekend activity like kidnapping your blonde friend.
Are you freaking kidding me? You almost gave me a heart attack. He said, "I'm sorry, I promise, it was just a game. We didn't mean to hurt you at all. We had planned this to trick a friend."
What kind of friend? Nobody wants friends like that. That's insane.
Move, I need to go out. I took my bag and headed to the door. The guy had a stupid smile on his face and said, "Wow, that easy?"
Wait, that easy? What's he referring to?
I thought that I would never see that guy again. But to my surprise, a week later, I found him working in a fast food restaurant.
He works at Special Fried Chicken.
Here comes the strongest girl I know. I smiled and said, "And here is the wimpiest boy I know."
Wimpiest boy? This guy kidnaps his friends for fun. This isn't some lighthearted, funny story to tell your friends. This guy's insane.
He laughed and handed me the change with a piece of paper that had his number. It said,
The faces in this animation are disturbing. I would love to take you out. Here is my number if you're interested. Just dial this number and at any point in the next week, you will be kidnapped and chucked into the back of a van again.
At first, I didn't want to call him, but then I kept thinking about how cute he was and that we would make a great couple. I've never had a boyfriend before, and I really wanted to experience what it's like to date. So
you go for the guy who kidnaps his friends. Good first choice.
I sent him a message. "Meet me for coffee tomorrow around 5 o'clock at Jojo's?"
This is gonna be some bizarre adventure.
"Sure, Wonder Woman," winky face. So we met. Nolan
Oh my goodness.
was so charming. It was like he read the magical book of how to be the perfect boyfriend. He had a red flower with him. You two are both alike. Soft, attractive, and breathtakingly beautiful.
I mean, bit heavy on the sop, my dude.
It melted my heart. And it wasn't long until we started dating. My house was more like a mansion, and I had everything a girl my age could dream of. And Nolan felt so insecure about it. I noticed how he looked at things around with utter shock.
Well, yeah, anyone's gonna be shocked if you have a marble Pikachu statue.
Nolan became more and more annoyed by the fact that I had everything. Every time he bought me a shake, he said, "You've probably had better." You know that those comments make you look so insecure. I like you for who you are. I'm just another item to brag about. Look at me. I have someone who's totally in love with me. His comment disgusts.
Look at the face on her. Where's she got Shrek ears?
Well, if that's how you think, then maybe we shouldn't date at all. Fine. And then walked away. It broke my heart. But if that's what he wanted, so be it. 2 weeks later, I found him having dinner with Tamar. Tamar was one of my friends from middle school.
Oh, classic. Always going for the friend.
The richest and the most spoiled of us all. How did Nolan end up with her? Wasn't he so insecure about dating rich girls? I saw you the other day with Nolan. How did you two get together? And to my surprise, she said, "It's kind of a funny story. Nolan kidnapped her by mistake while he was playing a game with his friends, and they hit it off just after that."
Oh, the player. What a pickup tactic. It's his move. He literally kidnaps girls. I can't believe it not only worked for him, but it worked for him twice. The other chick and the bloke end up breaking up. There's this whole side story about how the dad loses his Rolex and they think it might be him. Turns out he's a thief, but that kind of feels irrelevant. He's a literal kidnapper. One of those TikTok POVs be like. Okay, great. Well, I gotta say the payoff of that video was not super high. As to whether it's a true story or not, I doubt it, but I don't know. Stranger things have probably happened. If we sort by most popular, we get some weird options like I eat scorpions for breakfast to become poisonous, or I am too pretty. I wish I am ugly. Most people think it's ridiculous to complain about being beautiful. Callie, on the other hand, has another opinion. We think her story can teach us all a lesson on how we should be more kind to others. Do you have a story to share? So I suppose that's how they get their stories then. People send them in. I don't think that necessarily means they're true.
Hi, I'm Callie, and I'm going to tell you a story that might seem a little unusual.
Hi, Callie.
I'm really pretty. Like, beautiful.
Okay, if you say so yourself.
I know that might sound like bragging, and to be honest, it feels like bragging because I don't always feel beautiful. But enough people have told me I am that I've come to believe that is how most people perceive me.
Okay, sure. Hey look, nothing wrong with a little bit of self-confidence.
The attention I got from my appearance started when I was a baby. People would tell my mom, "Oh, you have such a beautiful baby."
Okay, is this how you're justifying it? Because nobody tells a mum that their baby is ugly.
A modeling agent approached my mom in a restaurant when I was 3 to see if she could sign me.
May I sign your baby for an ad? I am sorry, but no, she is only 3. Where is this going?
But the attention didn't stop as I grew older. And eventually, my mom was asking me if I would consider a career in modeling or acting. By that time, I was starting to feel really self-conscious. People commented on my looks so much. I hadn't even hit puberty yet, and I was already getting catcalled on the street. I loved math and science, but nobody seemed to care that I was good at those things.
Wait, is math related to science?
Most adults I interacted with commented on how I'd be beating the boys away with sticks soon, or how I'd have no trouble finding a husband.
I don't want to talk you down. At the moment, you're a cartoon lady. I don't know how you look in real life, but realistically, these are comments that a lot of people get in their lives. When you're a baby, people said you're a beautiful baby, which every baby gets called a beautiful baby. When you're a toddler, you had one instance of a dude being like, "Hey, can I put your toddler in an ad?" And now that you're older, some people give you compliments. You probably get some creepy uncle saying, "Hey, I'll bet you're beating off the men with sticks." I don't know. You might be the most beautiful lady in the world. But I just can't help but feel like some of these comments are generally comments that most people receive in their life. Some people don't. Look, some people are pretty ugly. But, whatever. Where is this going?
When I was 13, I started a YouTube channel dedicated to robotics, one of my greatest loves. But in the comments section, people would leave comments like, "You're hot."
I'm just playing devil's advocate here, but it's the YouTube comments. I bet you were also getting comments that said the exact opposite. If I was to pick and choose YouTube comments, I could fill a whole wall with comments about how great I am. But, you know, I wouldn't do that.
I started wearing baggy clothes to hide the curves I was developing. I started getting so anxious about when the next unwanted comment would come. And the other problem with being too pretty? People don't like you. Other girls think you're full of yourself, and guys only want you so they can brag to their friends about how they got with you. People also don't think you're smart. Once, my mom told me I was so pretty that I wouldn't need to worry about going to college. I'd be able to snag a doctor or a lawyer, and he would take care of me. That hurt more than anything.
Thanks, Mom. Very supportive.
So I decided that if this was how the world was determined to see me, as just an object, then that's what I'd be. I traded my baggy clothes for low-cut tops. I started wearing lipstick and flirted with the guys who gave me attention, even if I knew they had girlfriends. For homecoming, I wore the sexiest dress I could find. A chaperone told me I'd violated the dress code and handed me a sweater to cover up. Everyone looked at me and I could tell they were shocked, perhaps for two main reasons. One, this doesn't look like me because that's not my style. And second, well, because I looked very attractive.
I don't want to discredit the idea. If you're a girl at school getting inappropriate comments and you're worried about how people are seeing you, like that's a serious issue. It's just some of the writing in this story is funny.
Then a guy walked by and pinched my backside. That was the last straw. I couldn't take it any longer. I started to cry uncontrollably. People began to stare at me, some of them snickering and whispering to each other. I fled the dance and went out to my car. I had a meeting with the counselor, who was really nice. I told her I knew how ridiculous and arrogant it sounded to claim I was too pretty, but she said it wasn't ridiculous at all. She said together we could work on ways for me to feel more comfortable being myself. Things are slowly getting better. I have learned how to manage my anxiety and how to better respond to comments that make me uncomfortable. I even joined science club at school, and I'm finding some friends there. I've got a long way to go before I figure out how to be happy with myself. But things are looking up.
Our advice for you: knowledge and experience in life are much more important than outer beauty. Beauty does not last and cannot serve you forever. Kelly chose right, and we think you should do so too. I didn't think that was the message of the story at all, to be honest. I appreciate the message of the story. I think it's a decent message, though. I don't think the message is really about the importance of outer beauty. I think the message is more to do with body image and self-consciousness and dealing with things like inappropriate comments and people's perception of you. And the truth is, we don't really know whether she is this ultimate goddess that she claims to be, but the point of the story still stands. But it's not that. Beauty does not last and cannot serve you forever. That has nothing to do with the story. The story was not about devaluing beauty. It was a story of emotions and anxiety and dealing with practically bullying. She's complaining about being beautiful while there are people killing themselves for being called ugly. I understand that it can be tough, but there are people all around the world who would do anything to be beautiful. Be grateful. Again, the emphasis on her being beautiful is missing the point. The entire thing of it is that it doesn't matter whether she's beautiful or ugly. It comes down to the fact that she's uncomfortable with how people perceive her. There is no difference then as to whether she's beautiful or ugly. Me, suffer from BDD, depression, and anorexia. Her, I'm so sad that I'm pretty. Me, just shut the... This is my point. They tried to get all like positive message at the end here, but they completely missed the point and made many people upset, when in reality, the point here is that it's unimportant whether you're too ugly or too beautiful. You can still be unhappy with how you feel and uncomfortable with the public perception of you. I feel like her going on about how beautiful she is like an unnecessary detail of the story. The story would have been much more effective and more people would have been able to relate if they just weren't going on about how much of a goddess she is. Because people are getting too caught up about that, when in reality, it's just about body image in general. So like when people are saying you're complaining about being born with arguably the most advantageous marketable talent that one can have, it's clear that these people who are complaining are the exact type of people who would have been able to relate if they had just framed the story differently. You're talking about objectification. There is no controversially pretty problem. This is a problem all women face. Exactly. Thank you. Wearing a sexy dress. Next min. Stop staring at me. Yeah, like, come on. That's a little bit of a borderline comment right there. She was crying because she was groped. I don't want to get into this. I'm gonna call it there. This video took a bit of a turn. If you want some wholesome merch, get some in the description below. And please go check out my brand new video game channel where I talk about video games. It's in the description below, and I'll see you next time.
Thank you for watching my video, but now that it's done, please watch another one.